A very, very good afternoon to all mummies and daddies joining us today midday live on Mummy's Market for our sessions from Mom to Mumpreneur, brought to you by LHub as well. My name is Cordelia and I'm your host for today's session. So we also have our very esteemed guest, Ms Yeo Wan Ling. We have Principal Chef Judy Koh and course consultation Ms Judy Teoh. And I think you ladies can agree that we're going to be having a super entertaining and informative session in store for our audience tuning in right now. And of course, please, we'll do a little short introduction of everybody. And our first person will be our very special guest, MP Ms Yeo Wan Ling. She is our... Sorry, could you just put it out a little bit? You're a bit too far. Thank you very much. She is Ms MP Yeo Wan Ling, NTUC Director of You and SME and You Women and Family. Ms Yeo?
Hello, hi everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much, Cordelia, for the introduction. I'm very, very excited. You know, as the Director of the Women and Family Unit over at NTUC, we actually work with 330,000 women workers.
Fantastic.
And yeah, fantastic, right? Wait, power to you, sisters. But one of those things that we've always thought was very, very important, you know, for all our ladies out there, are women who want to actually reach for the stars, and we want to empower them with all the methods, all the programs that we have for them. And one of the programs, a signature program that we have over at the Women and Family Unit, is actually called the Passion to Profit series. Isn't that exciting?
Exciting.
It's actually turning your passions so that you can also make a profitable business out of it. So within this itself, I'm very excited today because I know a lot of our ladies are so, interested and intrigued by baking. And we've also seen a rise of home bakeries over the last couple of years. And so I think, this is a perfect opportunity for us to hone up those passions to make sure, that through LearningHub, we are also able to get people to start up their own home-based businesses. So ladies, I hope, that you have an enjoyable time with us today, and also to think about how we can actually make profitable business out of our passions.
That's right. Thank you very much, Wan Ling, as well. Next up, we have Ms Julyn Teoh. She's the Assistant Branch Manager from NTUC LearningHub. Can you please share with the audience, what do you do?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Julyn Teoh, Assistant Branch Manager of NTUC LearningHub, located at the National Trade Union House, Bras Basah. So every day, we advise who are keen on upskilling, and I recommend suitable and relevant courses according to their learning needs.
Quite an important person, I must say. Lastly, we have Chef Judy, the chef trainer for the NTUC LHub Learning Baking Program, to welcome Ms Judy Koh.
Hi, thank you. I'm so honored to be on this program. A little bit about me. I'm already a grandmother of 2 beautiful children.
Wow.
And my son is a chef. So I believe that every woman has a dream in her heart.
Yes.
And we not only look after the children, the kids, but we also have that dream in us, which we must continue to keep it very precious and take the time to, as we are looking after the kids and all that, don't let that dream just go into hiding, but let it continue to blossom. And one day, you may start your little bakery, as many of our students at Creative Culinaire have done so. Like we had examples of ladies who started when the kids were just very young, and then after that the business grew, and then they started to have their own bakery. Like for example, some of Bees cakes that grew from a kid and then all the way to something big. So I hope that we can be part of your dream. Thank you.
Chef Judika just asked, were you actually the master seafood in many of these businesses?
Well, I had the honor of, in the case of, I mentioned Bees cakes.
Yeah.
I remember Biling was just a mother, the kids were very young at that point of time. She took the professional course and the bakery courses at our school, and she did share with me that she had this dream. So I told her at that time that the most important is to keep an eye on the kids. So she had a lot of support from friends and families for her bakes. And then eventually she set up her own bakery, registered bakery at, it's called Bees Cakes, together with her husband. So sometimes, we have a little dream. That dream, we start small, build deep and think big. Now, this quotation wasn't by me. I think it was by Ko Cheng Man, if I'm not wrong. So I'm just borrowing a phrase from her.
A very popular TV mummy.
Yes.
Well,
Wonderful.
thank you very much, Chef. I think that's a beautiful story as well. And you are a grandmother that is mad. I'm still trying to get my life through being a mom. So, as for myself, I actually run a myriad of businesses. I have Little Bear's House, the indoor playground. I run the Acai Collective as well, selling acai bowls, superfood. And I also do hosting. And I'm also a mom. So, and I also have my talent agency. So I'm actually I'm very itchy backside. I like to be around and be on the go as well. So I think it's very important that we are here today because we want to tell you that you can make your dreams come true. You know, don't just sit on it, be a stay-at-home mom. Do something about it as well. I think the whole point of today as well, we want to share with you some tips on baking and advice to how to become an entrepreneur yourself, especially for you guys, you know, you want to have a dream, do it as well. If you're keen to enter the food industry services, we will have you assist over here with your baking skill set as well. So thank you everybody for watching this live stream so far. And if you guys are our first 100 to have pre-registered, NTUC LearningHub will be contacting you to claim your goodie bag at the nearest LearningHub sales center as well. So stay tuned because we have some exciting giveaways. That being said, 3 members of the audiences will be walking away with some exclusive prize worth $150. We do see some of the comments coming in. Like and share, very good. We have about 78 of you guys watching in. Very, very good as well. So before we start our session, we already washed our hands earlier with our Welsh 350 ml speed foaming hand wash, and a thank you message as well to our sponsor Welsh for that. So now let's kickstart with our first topic, and meanwhile Chef Judy will be preparing her ingredients.
Yes, today I'm going to share with you how to make a fruit flan or a fruit tart. Now it's colorful, it's easy to make, and it's also part of the course for the Pastries and Cakes 101 WSQ, currently in partnership with LearningHub. So it's something that I'm excited to share with everyone.
Yeah.
And honored to have Ms Yeo to do hands-on with me as well.
Yes, but you know what? I think tarts and flans are really, on point now. You'll be surprised, it's, the Mooncake Festival, but I've received a couple of tarts.
Yes.
In lieu of mooncakes.
Yes.
I was very
Something
excited.
healthy, colorful, happy looking. Yeah.
So why did you choose fruit flan for this live stream?
Sorry?
Why did you choose fruit flan?
Well, it's visually very attractive.
Yes.
Something you can do, and it's not too creamy, easy to assemble.
Yeah.
And it's evergreen, it's always attractive.
Yes,
to
I
give.
think so.
Yes.
And I guess, right, from that base that we're talking about, you can do savories as well, sweets, isn't it?
Yes. Actually, the original flan, the word could include also savory fillings. So at our WSQ courses with LearningHub, we actually teach our students how to make a quiche. So, important thing, so you could have a quiche.
Quiche are really yummy. Quiche Lorraine.
Yeah, for lunch, quiche Lorraine, and then you have a fruit tart for dessert,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess kids like it too.
Yes, very attractive.
All
You
kids
can make
love
them big,
pastries.
small, tiny little tarts. Yes.
I can't wait.
All right, sounds awesome. So let's start baking as well. So for this baking session, everybody will stand a chance. I will have a chance to bake their own fruit flan. I'm just a bystander watching in and ready to eat the food later on. So don't worry about decorating your favorite fruit as well on the flan. So let's do this, ladies.
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, we have all the ingredients all set out here. Now I've got butter, Anchor unsalted butter. So what we do first is to put the unsalted butter into the mixer bowl. Now basically the method is a creaming method. Now there are several types of tarts or pastries. Now this is what we call the pâte sucrée or the sweet tart. And so the first
I feel
thing
that
we
I'm in
do-
France now.
Yes, we do will be to cream.
So do I put it in
yes,
also? The whole
the
bowl,
butter?
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how many grams of butter was that, or was it just a rough gauge?
Yes, 160 grams of
160
butter.
grams.
Yep. And we have some sugar. All right, we
Sucré.
use fine sugar. Yep. 100 grams. Yep. And then we're going to put it into here. All right. And all we need to do is to cream the butter and the sugar. For those who are watching, if you have a handheld machine, that's fine as well. But here, in case you start a business, this full-size kind of heavy-duty machine will do an excellent job. So what we do is that, we lift this up, the bowl. Yeah, this one. Yes. Lift this up. And the speed control All right, so we're going to start on low speed. Now, it's really common sense. If we start speed 3, everything will fly in our face. So we go speed 1, slow and steady. Yes.
I think that's too
Yes.
fast.
Okay.
You got to lower the speed
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. Oh, there
Okay.
we go.
All right.
So, Chef, maybe you can share with us how do you train your trainees and how do you provide some tips for mummies who plan to start their own business?
Yes, we emphasize a lot about understanding the science and the mathematics behind the ingredients. For example, you know, what is the difference if you use a butter, a good butter, versus other alternatives? And what happens, you know, and how do you balance a recipe so that, you know, you get a good product?
Yeah.
So the science behind baking is very important because women these days are most of us are educated. We like to understand what's going on. So by understanding the science, that really helps us. And of course, lots of hands-on in our WSQ courses because nothing can replace practice, practice, practice.
Yes, of course, definitely. So
Yes.
how about the courses in LHub as well? Maybe Julyn can share with us
can
some of
start
the information about the courses.
Sure. So let me share more about the courses. So like for example, if you, after the baking course, you take an 2 days digital marketing course.
great.
It can help you to make your bakes and posting more appealing for those customers who are viewing it through social media platform.
Wow. Okay, we actually have a question from the floor. Jess is already asking. This was a question that I asked earlier on actually. Can we claim Skills Future with this course?
Oh yes, definitely. You can utilize your Skills Future credit, or if you are NTUC Union member, you can also utilize the UTAP funding. Yes.
Wow, that's very important, you know, that we can save some money at the same time as well when you're trying to build up some skills, which is very good for you. Okay, Ms Yeo, maybe you can share with us as well. I understand you're from WAF. Are there any mummies who have approached you to get some tips and advices on how to return back to the workforce? Because it's not easy. I mean, for myself, being a first-time mom, I really had to take a break and focus on taking care of the baby as well. So, any moms have approached you on that?
Well, yes, most definitely. It's not only just at the Women and Family Unit, but a lot of moms over at my constituency as well. As you know, I'm in Punggol, so we got a lot of young families over in Punggol. And you're absolutely right. Actually, during the COVID-19 period, I've seen a lot more moms coming down, you know, to tell us about that they want to go back to the workforce. They want to be able to contribute, you know, to the family's income, the household income, and another thing, really girl power. They want to also contribute right to the Singapore economy. And because of this, we have actually put up quite a number of programs. And one of the programs that we have done, which I think is very, very useful for mummies and any woman who actually wants to come back to the workforce or the workplace, including grandmamas, is actually a program called the Women Mentoring Women Program.
Wow.
And so, yeah, and this is actually one of our signature programs, very much like the Passion to Profit. So as you know, we like all these alliterations, P2P, WSW. But the idea here was that we realized that a lot of females, when they want to re-enter the workforce, there is a little bit of a, I would say, challenge. One of the challenge actually comes from confidence.
Yes.
Being away from the workforce for a number of years, I do understand that a lot of moms out there, a lot of ladies out there, you know, might find it a little bit challenging to get back to the workplace. And because of this, we thought a very safe environment where there are female coaches and female mentors who would work with our mummies, you know, with our ladies, to understand what kind of skill sets they'll be needing to get back to the workforce. I think that's something that's quite important. And you know what? A lot of our mentors are actually our female unionists. And so who better to get advice, you know, about the workplace. Now, the other one too is that we usually combine this, you know, with our Workforce Singapore groups as well as our LHub as well. Because a lot of moms out there, they would also think that, you know, maybe I've been away for like about 6, 7 years. You know, a lot of moms come back after their kids are finished with primary 1, you know, and they find that maybe their skill sets are a little bit, you know, outdated.
Yeah.
And that is when we find that working at the NTUC, working together with our LHub partner is actually very, very important, because LHub kinds of like, you know, helps you with bringing your skill sets up to date. So for instance, you know, I got a really good case of a mummy who came and she was used to be a comms person. but she didn't know how to do digital communications. Yeah, and actually, right through the LHub courses and all that, she got herself updated, and I'm very happy. Actually, she started her own business in comms. Yeah,
Wonderful.
So, wonderful. So I think these are all some of the things that we've been putting in place and to help females get back to the workplace.
Well, very well said. I believe it's like a mummies help mummies kind of thing because we all understand each other's situation. We understand how difficult it is to have kids and at the same time have a business as well. So of course, we are always there for support whenever you guys need. And if you guys don't have any questions on the live stream as well, please do comment away. We definitely want to interact alongside with you guys. We noticed that some of you guys are actually liking and sharing as well. That's fantastic. And of course, we have the giveaway, so please stay tuned for that. Okay, Chef Judy, are we ready to go over to our next step?
Yes. All right. Now, once the butter and the sugar is cream and it looks light, we're going to add the egg. It's just one egg. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Be careful not to drop the shell in. Okay.
Checking.
Added crunch and calcium.
Yeah, always good for health.
Yes.
And we put it on slow again?
Yes.
Okay.
Back to slow speed. Now, once the egg is incorporated into the butter mixture, the next thing we do will be to add the plain flour. All right? Now, in this case, we have the plain flour in a short while. Now, to do this, we would have to stop the machine, of course, and then we can just put all the flour in and go on low speed. All right? So once it's done, I stop the machine.
Chef, do we need to actually sift the flour? I know growing up when my mom used to bake, we always had to sift the flour out to get out the big chunks as well. Do we need to do that?
Yes, it's a very common assumption that we should sift the flour.
You mean I'm wrong?
But once your business grows and you start a bakery like us, you know,
No
sometimes
time.
when we do like half a bag of flour, it's not so possible to sieve it. Now, in this case, these flours are premium flours, unbleached, and what we do is that we put it in, and it's not lumpy, so we just do that and then put it in. Yes.
So you're baking for scale.
Yes, of
I
course.
see.
Of course, because it's all
remember,
about building your own
start
business.
small, think build deep, think big.
Very
Coaching
good
month.
advice. Yes, very good advice.
Yes.
Well,
So-
actually, sorry to interrupt,
Yes.
but I think we have quite a few questions for Julyn itself. They're asking if this is an online class as well, and where do we find the course?
Okay, this won't be an online course because we need, like what Chef has mentioned, we need to hands-on.
Yes.
So the course will be conducted over here at this building.
Clinic.
Yeah. And you can find more information in our website, which is NTUCLearningHub.com.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, one thing I got a question for you.
Ah,
Do you
yes.
bake?
No.
No. So is this your first time baking though?
Well, I think the last time I baked was maybe about 5 years ago when I
Okay lah, that's not much.
when I graduated from Sec 4, which makes me 21 years old.
Very young.
But yes, I did some baking in home econs.
So you have a little bit of experience and all that.
Well,
Okay, can pass. Don't worry, we got Chef to guide
Actually,
you.
she knows quite a bit.
She knows
Just
quite a bit.
before this, we were chatting, and I realized she's a food connoisseur.
She act humble only. Okay, Julyn, how about yourself? I understand that you're a mom of two as well. Can you roughly remember when you first went back to work and how did you manage it? You know, I mean, you're a mom, you have a course consultant as well. Do you have some students facing some similar issues?
Yeah. Okay, I have two lovely children, a girl and a boy. So I went back to work straight after my maternity. It's like the maternity leave is some sort of a break for me.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not easy to balance work and family, of course. But I would like to thank my husband's support. Yeah.
It's very important that husband support is very, very important.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. So at my branch, I've met many who are facing the similar issues, like trying to balance work and family at the same time. But many of times I hear they needed extra help in the competencies of their in better manage their time efficiency and productivity at work, so that they can end work early and go home and spend more
Home to
time with the
kids,
family.
yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Oh wow, we have about 100 of you guys already tuning in. That's fantastic. Keep it coming. Don't forget to like and share as well. Of course, we do have the very special giveaway. And we do have a question from the floor as well. I think they're asking, where is the location of the place that we're at that we're doing this live stream? I think it's the actual place of the course, which is actually at Creative Culinary. That is Chef Judy over here. She's the Lao Pan Niang, the big boss of this place
Working
as well.
boss.
So feel free to give it a Google. You can find the location of the place as well. And of course, I think many of you are asking. Chong Baru, yes, we're at Chong Baru as well.
Yeah.
Many of you are asking how much is the course fee as well. Do we know how much the course fee is that?
Cost fees depending on age group because it's funded by government. So if you are it's like below 40 and above 40 for Singaporeans and PRs. Yeah. So roughly about 309 for
Before SkillsFuture, yeah? Still got SkillsFuture, right?
Correct. So this, for example, if the cost fees is 309, so you can fully offset using your SkillsFuture credit.
Wow.
Yeah,
So in other
so-
words, it's free lunch.
Yeah, in other words, yeah.
So that's really, really great initiative as well that we have for you guys. So feel free to just find us on, I think we will have the websites out as well. Mummy's Market will be responding to that, so don't worry about it. But if you have other questions, feel free to hit us up as well. And I think for myself, being a new mom, having to join back in the workforce was pretty difficult, and then I have to do emceeing as well. So I must say it takes a village to raise a child. So having a lot of family support was equally very important, and having fellow mummies as well who understand and they can guide us along the way, that was really, really crucial.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what to do. It's
Yeah.
really your life changes like 180. So having the support is very important. So we are all here for you guys. Have any questions, just ask us, okay? Next up, I think, Chef, are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Awesome.
And of course, this is like a basic sweet dough. You can put a little bit of almond powder and then, for flavor. If not, you can also use some vanilla essence or any essence that you may like that will go well with the filling. So, all right, I'm so used to the... All right, we're going to put in about 1 teaspoon. Okay.
Can I just say, Chef, usually the vanilla essence, right, is always one small little bottle. This one is like a giant bottle.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Yes, that's because many of our students who attend, they have this little dream in their hearts to start the business. So what we know is that's why our school has got all the professional equipment.
All the big ones.
And yes, and we
To
talk
get
about
you
costing.
equipped,
That's very important because, how do you scale up? I think that's very important. And I wanted to say something because you mentioned that some mothers have problem to go back into
The workforce.
working,
workforce.
and that maybe it's a confidence issue. Actually, confidence can be built through proper training because once you understand, you are in control of your product, your confidence will naturally increase.
Agree.
Yes. No.
That's right. Okay, we got a lot of questions on the floor. That's fantastic. Iman is asking, is there a limit to the number of packs for the class? I think with social distancing now,
Yes.
there is as well, right? How
Yes, there
many
is,
can
there
we
is.
hold up?
I think we can hold up to 12, right?
Yes.
Chef?
And how long are the courses usually?
The courses is 3 days.
3 days.
So it's conduct like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah.
So if
a
not,
full
it's in
3-day
infant
class.
care or mother-in-law or into the childcare itself
Yeah, that's
to
right,
get
yeah.
that 3 days away from
Yeah.
for all good me time. I think that sometimes baking also is quite therapeutic.
Yes.
You really get to be in the Zen mode as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you guys are really, really excited for this. We'll be holding up our very first giveaway. Quite sure you guys are excited for this as well. So if you've been tuning in, you stand a chance to win $150 goodie bag. Okay, so we're gonna have the questions pop out as well. I don't think we're gonna have the questions, but it's okay. I'm gonna ask you. Share a time when you baked for someone special in your life for the very first time. Wow. Share a time where you baked for someone very special in your life for the first time. Maybe Wan Ling, you can share with us your experience. Have you baked for someone very special? for the first time?
You mean 5 years ago? Like, when I was in Sec 4?
I think for me it was like probably when I was like 4 when I tried to bake as well.
Well, I remember this cake that I baked for my father, and it was it was a home econs, cake, and I remember the first person I gave it to was actually my mom. And my mom took a taste of it, and she said, Ling, we're going to give this away because it was so sweet. And then I remember putting M&Ms on top of it in the shape of a heart. But then my dad was like, stop. my daughter like baked this, you know, for us, and he ate up the whole cake. Yeah.
Oh, because sweet lah, you know,
It's sweet,
he
yeah.
appreciates the tart as well.
Yes,
So
yes. But you know what? I actually think, right, it really means something. You know, for us ladies, we always talk about, you know, female power, female empowerment. But I think it's very, very important, you know, in everything that we do, that we also, right, involve the guys in our lives. You know, it's great, right, if they are there, you know, to encourage you along, you know, because actually, right, they are the 50% of all the advocates in our life, aren't they? They are the ones who also make sure, right, that the workplace, right, it's a fair and equitable workplace, you know, for us. It's a comfortable workplace for us in the family. Guys out there, I know this is a mummy's group, but guys out there, you know, remember to share, right, in your caregiving duties with your moms, okay, the moms in your
Super
lives.
important.
Yeah, super important.
Okay, so once again, the first question for the giveaway as well is share a time where you baked for someone special in your life for the very first time. Share with us a story and then you stand a chance to win a $150 goodie bag as well. But if you did not win this session, don't worry, we still have 2 more giveaways throughout this entire baking session. And of course, I think we got somebody asking, are there other causes available as well?
Yes. Yes, we have many courses in
Many, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Many different types. Anything you want to learn.
Really many. So
Accounting.
those who come to us and seek for, you know, advice, yeah. So we will of course recommend the relevant courses to whatever your learning needs lah.
Yeah. Actually, could I just share on a very interesting course that we are about to embark with LearningHub? Actually, one of the things that we realized was that people were going to do a lot of selling online.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and actually it takes a special skill set for you to be able, you know, to draw the audience in and not for them to tune out, because there's many channels out there. So actually we are going to be doing a series together with LearningHub on getting people to learn how to do online selling on Facebook. And I think we're going to bring in some type celebrities to do this to make it a more fun environment. So I actually love this about LearningHub, because LearningHub, I find that you as an education provider, as a training company, what you do, right, is that you really keep your pulse on what's happening out there, you know, both on trends that are important, but also at the same time on the way that, you know, we do pedagogy. Pedagogy. You know, it's not just about like very difficult, you know, topics, you know, talked about in a very stern or serious way, but you know, you bring in very interesting trainers as well, you know, to make it a fun learning environment.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's our motive lah.
Okay, I think we have a lot of answers coming in, and one caught my attention actually is Uni Asman. She said that when I was 10, I first baked for my own late grandma, and she was actually responsible for teaching me how to bake. And when I gave her the cookies, she loved it. So ever since then, she loved baking because of her. So congratulations, Uni Asman. Please do drop Mummy's Market a little DM as well in order to claim your prize. Okay, you got to do it soon. But of course, please watch with us all the way to the very end. Okay. So let's move on with our second topic, and of course, not to forget, time to make the filling right now. Chef Judy.
No, we're going to continue with the tart dough, all right? Yes. Okay. So we have been mixing the tart dough. So now we're going to take it out. Yeah. So, yeah, let me just... Okay.
Okay.
Yes. All right.
Take it out.
Yes.
Wow, you guys are all
Yeah.
really enthusiastic.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that as well. Other causes available.
okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. So we're going to... Now, the important thing about making pastry is not to over-mix the pastry. So you could... Yeah. Okay, so not to over-mix the pastry in order not to toughen it. And once we remove the dough from the mixing bowl, just we're going to put half of it over here.
Okay.
Yeah. And we are going to sort of like just slightly mix with your fingertips. All right, just mix a little bit. Now we don't over mix it. All right, fingertips, because that's also the coolest part of your hands. And I've got my silk pad over here. So I'm going to use the silk pad to facilitate so that when I roll it out with a rolling pin, I don't have to flour too much, because if I flour too much, it toughens your pastry.
Right.
So, one of the trick is to use silk pad, and then we roll. Now, this is very therapeutic, okay?
It's a good exercise
Yeah,
as well.
we use this. I was just telling my students the other day when I was working in Sri Lanka, and I had to live in a place where there were no locks in a hotel.
Wow.
I was supposed to go there. I had to sleep with this
As a
rolling
bolster.
pin, push my bed against the door. So this has got, brings back sentimental memories. Huh? Now, it can be very tiring if you roll like this, because then you need a good massage at the end of the day. So what we do is we just simply use the entire hand. Of course, when the business scales up, we use a sheeter, where we can sheet out the croissant or the Danish pastry to make the job easier. Okay? So when your business grows, it's very exciting, then you can see how sometimes the use of equipment and the proper equipment can make our jobs a lot easier. Oh, wonderful. All right, Ms Yeo's dough is nice and thin, because you don't want too thick a crust. And after we have done this, what we do is that we will chill it in the refrigerator for at least about half an hour.
Okay.
Okay? Yes. Great job, Ms Yeo.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Chef Judy, maybe you can share with us why do you need to chill it for half an hour?
Yes. As mentioned, it's always good to rest your dough.
Right.
That helps to prevent shrinkage, relaxes the gluten.
Is that how we need to relax our muscles also,
Yes. And this is also a reminder to us women. We try to juggle between family and work and our dreams. Don't overwork yourselves. Important is that we must take care of ourselves, our dreams, and have enough rest. And for single mothers, I know your job can be really quite challenging, but there is inner strength in you and support, from the women's group, and I'm sure you will find the strength to be able to balance your family and your work and your dreams. Yes.
Can I share a story?
Yes, of
And
course.
actually, this was a story I shared in Parliament, believe it or not. I was talking to one of my residents, and this resident was a very interesting lady. After she told me all her issues, she said that I'm going to the fast food restaurant, to have a coffee. And I was like, oh, is this your lunch? And she said, no, it's a coffee because every single week I take 45 minutes to be by myself in a cafe, and I'll catch an episode of a Korean drama. I later on went to talk to a doctor friend of mine, and she said actually there's been scientific studies to show that women need every single week 40 to 45 minutes to recharge. So just make sure, right, that all the ladies out there, take some time for yourself, self-care. It's actually 40 to 45 minutes, a drama show.
Yeah. And Korean dramas are like the best time. But it's very hard to keep it at 45 minutes because that's what Korean dramas do.
Yes.
They make you go on and on.
Exactly.
Okay, Chef, maybe we can continue with the baking as well. So we did set the dough down due to time constraints. So we already have another set ready available.
And like magic, half an hour has passed. So we've got a dough that's been chilled. Now, because this is 100% butter, it actually will solidify very quickly in the fridge.
Yes.
So what we do is that we remove the silk pad from the dough, and we have some tart trays. We've got rectangular ones, and I believe Julyn has got 3 round ones.
Yep.
Now, depending on the mold that you have, you use different techniques to line. Okay, so I will show a very easy one, like we have a rectangular one. So that makes it quite easy. So you can just use a ruler. For Julyn's one, you can, in a short while, use this. Okay. Now, this is a round one, so you cut out using a pizza cutter or a knife. Okay, so we sort of like roll it like this. It's okay if it's just bigger because we can trim it later. So maybe about like this.
It's like an aggravation kind of thing.
Yes. And then we have an offset spatula, so you can release this. Now, because it's very firm, so at this moment, you can actually turn this dough upside down, like this, and just remove it. Okay?
Okay.
Like this. Yep. Yes. Okay? Yeah. Great job, Julyn. Yes. And then we line the tart container with the dough. So because it's already well chilled, it's actually very easy to manipulate, but just place it here first and let it soften a little bit before we press it in, because
It will crack.
yes, it will crack. So it's all about temperature. Frankly speaking, when it comes to baking, understanding the right temperature, be it making a good bread or a good cake, temperature does matter a lot.
Yeah.
So we just have to be patient and wait a little bit. Just like if you have a little dream, be patient, get yourself trained. You know, it will
That's
happen.
nice.
Don't give up that dream. Yes.
加油.
Yeah, I
Yes,
saw even
加油.
Prof mentioned as well, my 20-month-old daughter is also watching this with me. Wow, I think that
That's
makes
great,
a great
that's great.
family bonding as well, and to bake together as well. Though I think your kid will probably mess it up, but I think it would be fun to do it together as a family as well when you have all the ingredients necessary for this. So if you guys want to find out the recipe for this as well, we do have it pinned in the comment section as well, so you can get all the recipe. If you guys missed out the earlier bits, don't worry, just head on over to the pinned comment and you can get your recipe right there. Then you can save it and then you can bake it another time for yourself as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And for working mothers who are baking, you know, when you work with your kids, you also find pockets of time to bond with the kids.
Yes.
I think one of the problems with being a mumpreneur is that time is is very precious.
Yes.
We are working, you know, doing stuff, but how do we allow our kids to grow up so that they have memories of us being together? So we need to be very creative to find moments like this. So this is what I used to do when my kids were growing up.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it turned out that my son then grew up,
Become
had
a
the
chef
interest and
himself.
became a chef himself.
Wow.
So you never know, you might have a chef somewhere in your family.
Yeah, actually
Among the
that's
kids.
true.
Chef in the
Yeah.
baking, huh?
Chef
Yes.
Judy, actually, Wendy is asking, my girl is 8 years old, she loves baking too. Is there any classes for parent
Yes,
bonding?
for sure. We have junior chef programs. In fact, we've been holding it for several years, thanks to our sponsors. And the main thing is to not only train them in the art and science of baking, but also inculcate some good values, how to work with one another, you know, how important it is to keep things tidy and clean. And then from there, we hope to identify, nurture the next generation of pastry chefs and bakers. So if you have a kid there, do check out on our website, you know. Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so let's continue
Yes.
with the baking now. I think
Okay.
it's set
Now,
down a little
once
bit more.
you feel that it's soft enough, okay, don't worry if it cracks or anything. This can easily be, you know, we can, because it depends, okay, just for a short while to just line it, okay, like this. Just slowly ease it into it, all right, okay, like this. Now, all right, even if it cracks, I'm going to deliberately crack it a little bit, but yours is fine. Okay, so almost okay. That's okay. All right. Now there are sometimes molds where the molds are a little bit. You have the rings itself. You can actually cut a piece for the center and then cut strips to line the sides. Okay. So now just ease it into the tart shell, tart mold. Okay, like this.
Does it need to cover all the way to the
Yes.
top? Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yep. So you can use your thumb. All right. Yep. That's okay.
It's okay?
So this strip we can line the sides. Okay. Like this. Okay, because it's still a little bit firmer. So we just. All right.
I love how I don't need to do anything. I'm just watching. My eye power has been very good. I just wait to
Yeah.
eat only.
Sending
Okay.
us the good wishes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ms Yeo, you're doing very, very well.
Yes.
I love how you're adding
Great
the
job.
pieces in as well. Great.
Okay.
Okay, so we're just lining it up as well. Oh, did we not butter the tray? Because I noticed that, I mean,
No need.
from my baking experience, we obviously
No
not
need
good
to
enough.
butter because the amount of butter is
the
enough.
dough.
If the tart is properly baked,
Right.
okay, it should be released from the tart container easily. So don't do extra or extra work. As I said, time is very important, especially when you start a bakery. you know, we are always rushing, making sure. So if we understand the science behind it, really there's no need, okay, to brush with butter, because the butter itself will form like, you know, it itself will already help you to remove the tart from the shell
acts as
later
like
on,
it's
okay,
like a
from the container.
barrier,
Yeah.
right, for it to come
Yeah.
out on its own.
Okay.
Ms.
All
Yeo,
right.
you're doing very well.
Okay.
She's
Now, once
concentrating
it's
very hard.
done, yeah, just push it to the side. The tart dough is pretty flexible, so you can, all right, like this. And incidentally, this particular tart dough, you can also use it for sweet, for cookies. If you're going to do that, any balance, you can use it for cookies, and you can cut into heart shape, you know, different types of shapes, and then use that. Okay, so now to sort of even out the sides, what you do is you can get a scraper like this, yep, and just trim it. Okay, so just trim it nicely. And all these tart dough can then be pressed together, and you can be turned into cookies. So it's a very versatile piece of pastry. And you can use it, for example, to make it for the base of your cheesecake. All right?
I always love that part of the cheesecake.
Yes. And all these leftovers, can just simply put it together. Don't overwork it. Okay? So, and there we can place it in between the silk pad, and then we can roll it out again and reuse. Okay? So,
Is this
now,
okay?
yes, that's great. That's great. And also, you want to dock the inside of the pastry to prevent it from, okay, popping up too much. Okay? There are also, you know, and then we bake it in the oven 175 degrees for about 20 minutes until golden brown. Okay? So now, like magic, once again, yep, great job. Isn't this wonderful? Look at her work. Wow, if Ms Yeo can do it, you can do it.
Yes.
Yes, great.
Okay. So we put it back in the
Wonderful,
soup pan.
yes,
Okay.
yes. All right, thank you.
Okay, so
you.
we're
Okay.
gonna continue, and then we're gonna set that into the oven right now as well. But of
Yes.
course, did you see the temperature? I'm not sure if I missed that out.
Yes.
On how long we should bake it for as well.
About 20 to 25 minutes. Now, no two ovens bake the same, so it's very important to understand your oven as well as, you know, that it depends on the thickness of your tarts.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
also depends a lot on even the material of the baking tin as
Yeah.
well. Yes.
Okay, so we already time magically moved faster. We've already baked the custard for you.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow,
And
look at
there we have
that.
it. All right. So
Looks
the
great.
next thing we're going to do would be to cook the filling. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. For this, I'm going to do a quick demonstration of it. It's really quite simple. Now, for custards or French pastry cream, we use eggs, but I chose to use an eggless recipe. So we actually have the sugar. We place half the sugar into the bowl and the other half into the saucepan. And over here, I've got custard powder. Okay, some green bean flour
Wow.
into here, and milk. I place it into my saucepan.
With the sugar.
Yes, with the sugar. Now over here, I've got some water. So I'm going to mix the water into the starch mixture to make a slurry, okay, with a hand whisk. Okay, the great thing about the WSQ courses is that, of course, we show to the, you know, we educate or share with the students how to use the right tool for the right job. Okay, very important. How to work efficiently in the kitchen is very important. Okay, so there we have it. The cornstarch, the hun gui powder or the green bean flour together into a slurry. Now, if you were to do a French pastry cream or crème pâtissier, normally, instead of custard powder, egg yolks are used. But as I said, we deliberately chose an eggless one so that even for mothers who may not want to use eggs, this is a very good alternative.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
We are just going to speed things up as well due to the time constraint. Of course, if you guys want to find out the recipes and whatnot, we always have it in the link as well. Okay, and of course, feel free to drop us a DM to ask us any questions in order to get the full recipe and whatnot. And I noticed that milk and water is also a very important ingredient that Chef Judy was making as well to make the filling. It's very, very similar to like a mummy's life, right? And it's where we have to juggle between work and family as a very important aspect. So, Julyn, maybe you can share with us, since you're a very successful course consultant and you're a mummy of two, how do you balance work and family? Because even myself sometimes, it's very difficult. And I only have one.
It's really
I
not
want to
easy.
drink it.
So
it's
we
easy.
suggest that maybe I usually plan ahead, like what's the essential to-do list of the day, so you can plan it better. Then, of course, like you mentioned, love yourself. Have some me time. You know, that's very important. So don't be too harsh about your missed targets or your mistakes. Because we are all working in a brave new world, so we have to take time to adjust. And also,
you know
of course,
what? Making mistakes are always a part of lessons learned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, and be patient. Learn from each day. Take note on what works and what didn't work for you. Yeah.
Yes,
Completely agree.
Yeah. Then what about you, Cordelia?
I think
You,
for me,
you also a very successful MC. How you judge?
Thank you. I think to balance work and family as well, it's definitely not easy. So like I said, I think I'm very lucky and thankful that I have an awesome mother-in-law. She really helps to take care before my daughter actually started going to school. And that being said, it could help me really focus on work. And I'm a workaholic, cannot sit still.
Yeah,
So
it's a little
I
bit
am
more.
very, very thankful for that actually. And I must say, okay, let's move on. Ms Wan Ling, maybe you can share with us Mummies Indian Union as well. How do you juggle between work and family for mummies to share with you?
Well, I think what you had mentioned was very true. It's like a lot of planning needs to be done, but I actually want to bring it back right to what I mentioned just now.
Yeah.
Our better halves are there,
Yes.
and our better halves, right, is good if they are there to support the family through the caregiving duties.
Yeah.
I think this is very, very important. And then I think, right, for a lot of ladies, actually I was just on the news, like, I think it was 2 nights ago, and it was talking about, like, workplace, fair treatment in the workplace.
Yeah.
I think it's also important that our mummies, if they're feeling, that something is amiss at the workplace, to have honest discussions with their bosses.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's very, very,
Very
important.
important.
Yeah, it's very important for us to set the expectations right, both ways,
Yeah.
with the employer and employer with the employee. And for mummies out there who are bosses, also do, create that kind of virtuous conditions, culture in the workplace, that people are open about talking about their family matters.
Yeah, I really agree with you 100% as well. Because if you don't share with your expectations, and then you have this certain amount of expectations that you have in your head, and then it leads to disappointment, it'll be even worse. So I think having to raise concerns, if you have any as well, within your workplace is very, very important. Chef Judy, maybe you can share with us. For you are a grandmother already. So how is it possible for you to share juggle between work and family as well?
Well, I have to honestly say that it wasn't that simple. Okay, to say that it was plain sailing would be to not really tell you the truth. It was very tough at first, and because I went through a period when I was a single mom, and that was very difficult. And I think for mothers, we tend to feel guilty about a lot of things because we have to bring in some income. And then at the same time, we have to take care of ourselves and we have to take care of the kids. And we only have 24 hours.
Yeah.
And we hardly sleep, So my initial period was that I had to struggle with depression, staying strong, through times of very great difficulty.
Yeah.
And that was when and I realized that friends and families are very important. Yeah. And I think even if you don't have the support of family, or sometimes we just retreat into our shell. It's important to be positive about life.
Yes.
We are here for only a short time, and the kids depend on us. So we want to set as good an example as possible. We try our best. As I always say, we try our best, and leave the rest to God. Honestly, we don't want to beat ourselves, into depression and all that, And the children eventually grow up, and bring up the way, you should bring up the kids. And as they get older, no matter how much they stray, they still come back.
Yeah.
The apple never falls very far
From the tree. I agree.
Okay, so now,
Wow.
okay,
So
the
now
mixture
starts
is
thickening
thickening now. So you can see it's thickening, and then when you see like bubbles, appearing, as if there's a little monster, yellow monster breathing inside, you can stop. And usually we cook it for a few more seconds. This is to cook out the starch, the starchy taste. Okay, so even if you're using the crème pâtissier with eggs, you do the same thing, all right? And you can see over here we have our eggless version of the custard. All right, and then from here, we are going to decorate our tarts. Of course, you can brush the tart with a layer of melted chocolate so that it prevents the tart from getting too soggy. Another way is to, of course, when the tart is freshly baked, what we do is that we quickly place brush with a little bit of egg white and pop it back to the oven to set it so that it acts like a little, while it is still warm, we can still pour into our tart and then spread it, okay,
Wow,
like
look at
this.
that.
Wow,
So,
it looks
yeah,
delicious.
maybe I can help. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, otherwise you can also use a piping bag, okay? So in the interest of time, we will just pour it
Oh, I
into
can
the
smell
tart.
it.
Yeah, I really feel like eating it already.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, look at that nice creamy filling. Okay?
Wow,
And then
just
we
look at
will
that.
even it out with our offset spatula. All right, so this is the offset spatula,
Oh,
which we
this is
can
the
even it
offset
out.
spatula.
Yes, that's
I
right.
only know that when it
The
comes to
right
painting.
tool for the right job. Okay? So just spread it out like this. And we hold it like this with the thumb here, finger here. So just spread it out.
Oh.
Okay?
It's like spreading
And
kaya.
then we can arrange our fruits on it. So it's important.
Even
You
when
can
it's
place
hot.
your favorite fruit. And if you like durian, you can even add some fresh durian to this custard and cook it for a short while. Otherwise, you can try different types of fruit. So over here, we have got some colorful fruits. So we can then arrange it, all right? We can cut it as well, the chopping board and the paring knife. Yeah, let me help you.
So this
get
is when the creativity part comes in already as well.
Yes, yes. Okay, yeah. Always good to place a piece of damp cloth underneath so that, it doesn't move for safety reason. Yep, okay.
So this is when
Yep,
you have
like
to be
this.
really creative.
Yes.
We will test Ms Yeo's skills today.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and we have our paring knife.
This, right?
Okay, yep.
Okay.
You got your paring
Yep.
knife? Yes. Okay. So then, of course, the fruits have been cleaned, and we're going to have some. So you can arrange the fruits in any way you like. Important thing is to have it all colorful. So I can arrange some raspberries.
Wow.
Okay. Or if I want, I can even dust a little bit of snow powder
Nice.
over it to make it attractive. For example, over here I can place some blueberries, and if I want, just dust a little bit of snow powder
Icing
if I
sugar.
like. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
This would be really great for Christmas, actually, for those home baking
Yes.
mummies to be. You guys want to start preparing as well. You can start doing this. Christmas is coming up, actually.
Yes, the
almost
colours
at
of-
the fourth quarter of the year
Correct.
already as well.
Yep. And of course, we can have all the
And this year
Grapes.
passed in a jiffy, didn't it?
yes. Time seems to be running faster and faster.
Yeah.
Okay, so while they're decorating right now, we'll be doing our second giveaway. Okay, we'll be choosing 2 winners from this chat as well. And of course, we need to remind you guys that you have to be on Mummy's Market's Facebook page only, because I noticed that some of you guys are actually commenting on the NTUC Learning Hub page. So take note, you have to be on the Mummy's Market Facebook page in order to win. Okay, so you guys are going to transfer those pages over. In the meantime, I'm going to be answering giving you a question right now. My question is, sorry, just prompt it up a little bit more. You guys went too fast. There we go. The question is, how do you maintain a work-family balance lifestyle? Very, very simple, off the edge. Tell us, okay? How do you maintain a work-family lifestyle as well? So share with us your thoughts. I think for me, how to manage your work-family lifestyle is to make sure that you guys have your own me time. That is super important. The me time is like the most essential, because that's how you maintain sane, especially during this COVID period as well. We can't travel, we are all within our homes, we have to maintain sane. So I would say having the me time is very, very important. So if you guys want to win the goodie bag worth $150 we will be giving away right now, all you have to do is to answer how do you maintain a work-family balance lifestyle. Just share with us as well in order to win. Okay?
Great.
So how are you guys doing with the decorations?
Yes.
Wow.
It's really fun. So if you can get your kids involved in this,
Oh yes, that would be great.
provided they don't start eating the fruits.
You know that's actually a very good business idea, to have the kids do it instead. So it's more
Yes.
like it's for surprise, right?
Yes.
So like if you want to start out a business doing baking, so the mummy bakes and the kid designs, and the kid's the one that delivers the item as well. That would be really fantastic. That's a good kind of marketing, I would say. Instead of making it look very, very pretty, you can make it art and design special style as well.
Yes,
Wow.
and I believe LHub also conducts the hygiene courses.
Yeah,
right?
we do, yeah.
Yes,
So-
I think for safety of customers and all that is always important to keep things hygienic and clean. And sometimes so proper training is always the right answer. And once your business expands to a certain scale, when you scale up your business, the kind of equipment you use will be very different. All right?
Okay, I'm going to choose the first winner. I love how we have about 90 of you guys watching in right now. And you know what's the best part? Is that we have daddies watching too. So that being said, I'm going to choose the first winner as Stephen Lin. His answer is be flexi to adjust work and family demand, not to be fixated over working hours and family time. That is very, very important, Stephen. So thank you so much for your answer. You have won yourself a $150 goodie bag. Please do drop Mummy's Market a little DM. And I'm going to choose the second person. I love how the family photo is in your main display picture. I think you have 2 kids as well. And at Mango Pua, I do not bring work home. I try to finish my tasks at work when I'm at home. I spend time with my family with some bonding activities such as games and pizza making. Wow, Annette, congratulations. You also just won yourself a $150 goodie bag. So please do drop Mummy's Market a little DM as well. Okay, so next question. I'm going to share with you about a little baking and how you want to be your very own entrepreneur, right? How do you juggle this in between? So Wan Ling maybe can share with us how you can juggle between that.
Yeah. This is like
Sorry?
a lip gloss.
How do you juggle between being a mummy entrepreneur
Like the
and
lip
having
gloss
your
for
own
the-
business from
to
home
protect
as well?
the fruits.
So if you
Well-
want to consider that, how would you go about doing it?
For me, I probably would want to really demarcate a few things in my lives. I think the first one is timing. Because I think, right, with a lot of people working from home now, we've come to a point where we realize that actually people are spending a lot more time at work, even though they're at home.
Yes.
So it's kind of important, that you draw out when is your family time versus when is your work time.
And you know what? It's like working from home somehow became like a blessing in disguise, because when you work from home, yes, a lot of people say it's very difficult.
Yes.
But you also actually do spend a lot of time at home with your family as well.
Yes, you do. But I think it's important that you set up certain ground rules, for yourself.
Work is work.
Yeah, work is work, but also at the same time, make sure that by a certain time, you actually disengage, with work so that you can actually have time with your family. I think that's very, very important.
Yes, it's very important. as
Another
well.
thing which I actually learned from Chef was this. passion is one thing, and a lot of us would make the perfect product and all that. But if you want to make this into a business, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
We have to start building up our foundations to make sure that whatever that we're doing is something that's scalable. And I think, if you're thinking about doing food, it's important, to look at food safety. So there's all these various aspects that you might want to consider when you're moving from passion over to profit.
Yeah.
But the good thing is that you're in safe hands with LearningHub as well.
Sure. You have everything.
Yes.
Maybe you can share with us, Julyn, more about the baking courses and other courses and how we can help mummies turn a hobby into a business.
Okay, so for this baking course, like I mentioned just
we
now,
have to glaze it, is it?
Yes.
it is a 3-day baking
shiny,
course,
like lip
and you will
gloss.
get to learn to bake cakes, cookies, pastry, and many, many more. So to start a business, there are some foundation courses that we will recommend.
Yeah.
So for example, how you implement a business plan,
Yeah.
how you monitor your income and
Is this
expenses,
Yeah,
skills future for digital workplace,
Colourful and
and some useful Microsoft
So
courses.
encouraging.
So with
No,
these
you
foundation
did a great
courses,
job.
then you're better equipped with the right knowledge and to kickstart your home biz.
Ms Yeo, maybe you can share with us as well some stories about some mummies who approach you in the union asking about how to start a home business.
Well, I think, first step first, get yourself trained. I think that's very, very important. Today, I learned, about how important it was for us to be using the right tools. And also at the same time, when you get yourself trained, you're also doing this not by yourself. You're doing this with a community. You're doing this with the rest of the students who are with you. And I think setting up a business, and I've run a business before, a very important part is actually making sure that you have your business networks. That part is very, very important. You can have the most perfect product, but if the market doesn't know that you have the perfect product, you're not going to sell a single pie.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you have that set up well. And of course, join the union. I prefaced just now by saying we have 330,000 female, workers with us, and they certainly have a lot of buying power. I'm very sure a lot of them are online supporting us now as well. So, please believe in the power of the unions as well.
So
All
I
right.
think NTUC You Women and Family Passion to Profit webinar series, they touch on a variety of topics such as the e-commerce, the freelancing, the caregiving, the sewing as well. They have the Altar Run project. I think you know about that, right?
Yes, that's right.
And we have the flexible options in the hospitality industry. And in general, I think women can go into LHub to upgrade your knowledge and skills and be ready for the new ventures as well.
Yeah, we are
Okay.
here to help those who
Yeah.
need support and upskill, especially during this COVID.
Yeah.
We offer a lot of different courses, face-to-face. We have virtual live classes.
Yes.
So when you look for us, we provide recommended solutions for you.
Is there any other things? I think we also can, I think we have the LHub course for mummies, right?
Yeah, like I mentioned just now, you can do like a baking course, you can do your business planning, you can do Microsoft, you can do specialty in coffees to start up your home business, food safety courses. Yeah.
Nice.
So come to us. Yeah.
Yes, anything just ask Judy. She's the pro. Okay, I think we are done for the day. Actually, we have our bake of the day, the fruit flan.
Yes. Great job, everyone.
I'm so proud.
Very, very pretty. Actually, we should put the two together as well. I must say,
Yes,
Ms Yeo's
we'll
one
put them.
looks really professional, not
Oh,
bad.
really?
as well.
Oh,
Very nice. Very
Smells
nice.
absolutely
Wow.
amazing.
Wonderful. They look
Wow, that one
happy.
looks like hotel one.
Yes. Yes.
I think
Okay.
Cordelia, you
I'm
should join
happy.
us for the baking course.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. Okay, let's cut and try it for each other to taste as well. I think that would be really, really good. So, of course, if you guys really want to consider the baking course from LHub as well, you can just hit up Julyn as well. She will be there to teach you, okay? Excellent performance, I must say, you guys. Okay, so talking about utensils and kitchenware, it's very hard to wash. So we have our Show La Mama dishwashing soap as well. It is 100% natural ingredients, effective in grease removal, yet gentle on the hands. So also a big thank you message to Wash for sponsoring our dishwashing soap and speed foaming hand wash.
Great.
I actually use this myself at home as well. So before we end the show, do we have one more goodie bag to give away? Yes? One more? So total 4, huh? Can, huh? Okay, we'll just do one more. Best for you guys for staying with us all the way to the very end. 84 of you guys watching in. Very, very good. Okay, so we're going to pick one more winner. Yes? I just picked, huh? Okay. I am going to go with Prab, because Prab has been watching with us all the way to the very end. Thank you, Prab. Prab, Money, Dylan. My husband and I has a 50-50 partners in our daily life chores, and we are happy to do this as well. We also look after our kid, and after that, life looks very easygoing. Oh my goodness, I cannot agree anymore as well. I must say, together with my husband and I, it's very important that he is a very hands-on dad, and I'm very thankful for that. So thank you so much, and of course, our amazing shows, star shows for today as well. We have this MP Ms Yeo Wan Ling. We have Chef Judy Koh as well as Ms Julyn Teoh. So thank you so much. Any final words before we wrap things up?
Well, just remember to follow the NTUC Learning Hub Facebook page as well as the NTUC You Women and Family Facebook page. We have plenty of stuff for all mompreneurs out there as well as ladies, grandmas who want to return to the workplace.
Never
Age
too
has no
old
limit.
to learn.
Yes, age has no limit, yeah. And Ms Julyn?
Yeah, so feel free to call us up or look into our website. Of course, if you want to see me, you can drop by Bras Basah, National Trade Union House.
Oh, that's where it is. Okay, now we all know. Okay, thank you so much. My name is Cordelia, also known as C0RD on Instagram. It's been a pleasure being this past 1 hour with you guys. If you have any further questions, feel free to also drop LHub a little DM as well, or even Mummy's Market. And to all our winners for our giveaway, a big congratulations. So that being said, thank you so much and bye.
Bye.